Boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Big Los, and welcome to another episode of The Noize. Better late than never, which we will explain. But anyway, if you haven't yet, go ahead and follow us on the big three: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Noize Podcast. And of course, follow everything Beat Network at beatnetworkonline.com. 2 days late. However, it's not necessarily of our own doing this time around.
Stuff beyond our control.
Stuff beyond our control that we are going to talk about only slightly. You know, we don't want this episode to necessarily be somber. But, you know, before we get into the reason for us being late, we got some quick announcements, some quick church messages, if you will. We need like some background church music or something. Yeah. Message number one. So we completed the poll all those days ago for the return of 20 for 20. The one night only 20 for 20. The poll was completed, and we thank everybody for voting. We were going to announce the winner last week. However, we noticed a discrepancy, kind of like, you know, any kind of votes in America. Some people went back and voted twice. And I have to take responsibility for that as well, because I initially set it up that you can only vote once, but I did that when I created the tester ballot. When I created the official one, I forgot to click only allow one vote. So some people went back and they voted twice. So initially it was supposed to be J. Cole versus Kendrick, but because of, I want to say it was neck and neck between Cole and Kendrick, 2000 versus 2003, and JT versus Usher. Yeah. So after the recount, 2000 versus 2003 is the official winner. Mm-hmm. So, our first Tuesday turn up playlist / one night only 20 for 20 will be 2000 versus 2003.
What'd you vote for?
What did I vote for? What did I vote for? It's been so long. Oh, I can't even flex. I voted for the Gap Band versus Isley Brothers.
You're probably the only person that voted.
No, it was a nice amount. It was low, but it was a nice amount.
3 of y'all probably.
You know what was shockingly low? Chris Brown versus Bruno Mars.
And it is shocking, but I understand why it was that way. Well, shocking it being low. As far as it losing, I understand why I would have lost. As far as it being low, it is shocking. That was shocking.
I think that was the lowest one, actually. Really? That one was low. It was one other. We had 5 of them on there in total. Oh, I guess that was the 2. That one was low, and Gatman versus Isley Brothers was low. Other than that, like, it was literally a battle back and forth between Usher and JT, K-Dot, and Cole, and 03 versus 2000. But 03 versus 2000 has won. That's actually going to be a lot of fun, because I don't think y'all understand the amount of hits that are in those years.
Yeah. It's funny, you know, I listen to XM Radio, and I'll put on like XM Radio Fly. And they play songs from the 90s all the way to like 2010. But a lot of them is 90s, right? So when it comes on to the early ones, like the early 2000s, I look at it, shows like what date or what year, and I look at it like, oh, that did come out this year.
Yeah.
It has some hits.
Yeah.
I know we doing 2000, 2003, but 2003, maybe the beginning of 2004, it had hits.
Because you know what? That pocket was the shift in music. Because that was ultimately going into, because you could tell with Big 9 in 97, music was kind of at a toss up. Yeah. Because now no one wanted to do gangster rap anymore, because we literally just saw 2 men die.
But you also saw gangster rap was hidden.
But you saw gangster rap was still A1. So you got, and then a lot of the cats that were in gangster rap were starting to transition out of gangster rap. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it started to get real shiny suit after a while. That 2000 to 2003, that was like the curve. That's when it was starting to become a lot more about flashy than it was about toting pistols and shit.
Oh yeah, I agree with that shit. Bling bling was that catchphrase.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we got a really good pocket of music that we're gonna bring y'all. And what's so crazy that we still got to figure out who's going to represent what year. So, it's still a lot of work to be done, but that will be coming to you guys soon. We'll announce when we're doing that on the next episode. I can't wait to tell y'all about the next episode of The Noize. But, also what was brought up to me today, FOH, people are missing FOH. That means y'all are probably petty as hell. But y'all miss going in on people. It's all good. I respect it. But FOH is definitely coming back. Unfortunately, we can't give you guys a date just yet. We are going to have to move it from Sundays now that football is back. As I told the person that brought it up, it has been a series of events, between the NBA finals. Turns out the rise, I guess, being stuck inside for so long, you love any kind of sports, the rise of people following the MLB finals. And then of course, with the situation with my brother, Jay Alonzo, Back to the Classics, it's been a lot since the last episode of FOH, and now that football is back, that does take up that Sunday. So we'll see what happens, man. Probably move it to Saturday or something, or Fridays. We'll see what happens. But we'll definitely let you guys know. But FOH will be back. It will be back this month at that. Y'all gonna get a shit ton of Noize content, straight up. We would have brought back, Turn My Mic Up, and we would have more than likely done, the new Busta album, but we will touch on that on this episode. However, again, the situation with Jay Alonzo, this was just a very heavy few weeks.
Yeah. It was different.
It was extremely heavy few weeks, and we're really playing catch up. And again, that's why this episode is coming late, because we're playing catch up. But we always say, man, we appreciate y'all, sticking with us through all the changes that's been going on these last 4 years. And, we appreciate y'all for your patience, man. Like, you're always concerned about what can change. We've seen the fluctuation, of course, but it hasn't been anything that's necessarily torn us completely down. So we appreciate you guys for sticking with us and, being flexible with us. Finally, last announcement. Next week, November 9th episode of The Noize, we have a special guest. This gentleman has been on the Noize podcast before, but he's going to be coming back with some updated news about what he got going on. And we're going to actually have a really good conversation about black business and about black cinema, which is I'm truly excited about, because this man is heavy in black cinema right now, and he's only getting better.
Yeah, you've definitely seen him before somewhere.
You've definitely seen him, and you'll see on the promo as well. Mac Wells is coming back to the Noize podcast to chit chat with your boys. I look forward to that episode.
Me too. That's gonna be fun.
And Mac is really looking forward to that episode as well. Can't wait for y'all to hear some of his stories, his experiences, and really get his insight on the world that he's ultimately on his way to dominating, man. I feel really good about what he got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna be a household name very soon.
Absolutely. And again, a lot has happened with Mac in between the last time he was on the show. What was that, like 2 years ago, maybe?
Was that the first year?
It either was year.
I think that was year one. If it wasn't year one, it had to be early year two.
It had to be early, because in between that time, he did Doom Patrol, DC's Doom Patrol. He did Black Lightning. He did.
Well, the way we can look at it, I remember we did the show, and then he was talking about he was going to be on Pitch Perfect 3.
So he was just starting Pitch Perfect 3.
Yeah, he was saying, so around that time when that movie came, because I remember going to the drive-in, and you know how the drive-in does double features.
Right.
Pitch Perfect 3 was the first. I wanted to see the second movie. Pitch Perfect 3 was the first movie, and I was like, shit, I'm going there. I'm paying this money, gonna go there for everything.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, he did say he was gonna. So yeah, he was also he was in Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah, he was in Guardians. Because he just wrapped. Guardians of the Galaxy just came out.
Yeah,
when he was on the show.
out.
So whatever year that was, Guardians of the Galaxy it had to be about 2 years ago. Guardians of the Galaxy just came out.
This shit feel like so long.
So long ago. 2020 alone feels like 3 years.
It does.
But Guardians of the Galaxy just came out. He was the cop that got killed in that one. And his most recent appearance in arguably one of the biggest shows of 2020, Lovecraft Country.
Should we save that and let him, should we save what he be on, let him go on, talk about it a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. You know,
Should we just save it? I don't want to give too much to the people.
right. Oh, no, I'm excited for the story as well. And then really this is his first time being able to join us in conversation as well, because that first appearance was strictly an interview. This time he's actually joining the conversation for the Ear Hustlers. So I'm looking forward to that. So make sure y'all tune in. November 9th, Mac Wells is in the building. That one is called The Black Carpet. See what I did there? Red carpets, black carpets. Join us for that from Mac Wells. Make sure y'all share that. We'll be putting the announcement out pretty soon. So make sure y'all share that as well. Really make this episode bubble. Cause like I said, Mac has some amazing stories. And you know, the last time Mac was on here was just an amazing conversation. And I'm pretty sure we're going to double that this time around.
I believe so.
So as far as the delay with this episode, I initially wasn't going to talk about it, and I'm still not going to go all the way into detail about it, of course. Just want to let you guys know what's going on. So my brother, Jay Alonzo of Back to the Classics, everyone knew about his condition and, his inconsistencies with his show because of his condition. The show has at least still went on. Definitely shout out to Dave Neff for that one. But my brother recently had some extremely important surgery, very scary surgery at that. Happy to report that, everything went down without a hitch. Somewhat, I'll tell that story in a little bit. And he is on his road to recovery. Kev didn't know I was doing this just cause, I guess how the surprises work, but we'll definitely put it in the episode as well. So Jay Alonzo wanted to, send a message to everybody, including the Beat Network family. So I have it pulled up here so Kev can see as well.
Yo, what's the deal? Jay Alonzo here. Back to the Glasses Podcast. Wanted to take some time out to thank everybody from the Ear Hustlers to the Center folks to every Beat Network supporter, family, friends, well-wishers. Thank you guys so much for the love and the support, prayers, pulled through like a champion. And I will be back very soon. It's been a rough road. So it's going to be a rough road ahead, but at the same time, with your love, I've gotten through a very hard corner to get around. So once again, shout out to the whole Beat Network family. I love all y'all. Miss all y'all. Shout out to my boy Dave. Shout out to the head honcho Loso. Shout out to Kev. Shout out to Rach. Shout out to Sky. And we're going to be together soon. Once again, thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the support. And for keeping me up.
It's good. It's good to see him. Good to see him up and talking.
Yeah, so again, thank you guys. It was a huge outpouring of love when everything went down. It was stressful, and I can't lie, I was kind of upset that so many people were being as blatant with the information of what he was going through. However, to my knowledge, he okayed it. So it's like we said about, who's the example that we about Chris Brown and Rihanna being back together. I can't get mad at the person that went through it. You know what I'm saying? I can't be more mad than the person that went through it. So if he okayed it, if he felt good about it, then cool. We just want to deliver that message to you guys to say thank you, because Beat supporters really came out in droves to support Jay and to send him well wishes. We were actually joking when he was in the hospital. He was like, "Dog, I'm trending." I was like, "That's low key what it feels like, man," because it was just people coming out of all facets. Just sending him well wishes and just seeing the response on the Back to the Classics page, and the response they was getting to the on the Instagram page and everything like that. It was all very dope. I had one experience that really like almost set me the fuck. Two experiences almost set me off. So because of all this COVID shit, when he was in the hospital, he had to spend 3 days in the fucking hallway.
Wow.
3 days in the hallway next to the psych ward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's literally losing his mind right next to people losing their fucking mind.
Yeah, that's right.
And secondly, during the surgery, there was no, so you know how they have you wait in the waiting room during the surgery. Some hospitals, they have the TV with the updates of what's going on. So that way you can see what part of the procedure that they're on, an estimated time of completion.
Oh, okay. That's new. Okay.
And shit like that. They had it at the spot that you were at.
They ain't have me.
I guess not. I'm about to say what was that? St. Rose Dominican?
No, I was at Southern Hills.
But there was a time you were at St. Rose Dominican, wasn't it?
Not for a stay, no.
Oh, I guess you're right. It was Southern Hills.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm thinking that too many people go to the fucking hospital. Drink Gatorade, yo. But yeah, so no, they didn't have the television, and they didn't, and there was no receptionist there. There was only a receptionist one time when I tried to sneak my mom and my aunt up there.
Magically, the receptionist there when you trying to do some shit.
But as soon as I went back up, gone. So at this point, I'm in there. I was at the hospital for 12 hours. They ended up changing, cause it was supposed to be like a 2:30 surgery. They ended up changing it last minute. So we were there all fucking day. Well, at least I was there all day. After about hour 4, I'm livid. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, what the fuck is going on? Like they have this, and it's so stupid because when they told my mom, or when they told us that, you know, it could only be one person in the waiting room, she gonna bring up, you know, just with COVID numbers being so high, yada, yada, yada. However, there was no receptionist there, just a fucking phone with extensions for you to dial. One phone, by the way.
Yeah.
So don't talk to me about COVID numbers, but you want us all to share this goddamn phone.
Yeah.
Like, make that shit make sense. So I start flipping the fuck out. I'm like, yo, where the fuck is everybody at? So when I call, they transfer me like 3 different departments. By the time I get to the 3rd department, now I'm just pissed.
Now you know, whoever answers this motherfucking phone gonna get it.
It's gonna get all this work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At some point, someone called security. So the security,
you?
Yeah.
Oh, ain't that a bitch?
So the security dude walks up, and you know, it's one of them little short.
It always is.
You know what I'm
They're
saying?
short or they're elderly. It's like, what the fuck is you gonna secure?
Short, young, black dude that you already know, like, nah, you probably a quote hood nigga outside of here. You know, you probably got this job off of one good, clean piss test. You know what I'm saying? So
That wasn't yours.
That probably wasn't yours. So he walk up and he's like, all right, bro, you gotta go. You're doing this, that, and the third. I said, I'm not fucking going nowhere. I was like, my brother's in there having XYZ surgery. I ain't going nowhere. So I get back on the phone. And granted, he didn't pull me. He didn't, you know, try to manhandle me or anything like that. He just put his hand on my shoulder.
So you should have called me. I was right across the street.
To try to help me, to try to escort me out. Bro, when I tell you, I dropped the phone, smacked his hand away, I was like, bro, you don't make nowhere near enough, cuz. You don't make nowhere near enough. And then, you know, he kind of tried to step up as well. I'm like, bro, you are maybe 5'8".
You be barking up the wrong tree.
You are maybe 5'8", and you're calm. You're 5'8" on the clock. I'm a big nigga whose brother is having a life or death surgery.
Right.
And I'm pissed. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I got hands. So this one gonna be the best of times for you, bro.
Yeah. You know, to your first little story about where Jay was, my very first surgery, they had me, I was downstairs near the psych ward, if it wasn't the psych ward, but it was like a basement. It was weird. Like it was like the floor wasn't linoleum. Is that what linoleum? How you say it? Is that what it is? The same shit that's on your floor. It wasn't that.
Gotcha.
It was like actual concrete floor.
Oh shit.
Right. But I'm not just out there. I'm in the room. Right. The thing was, you get people that should be in the psych ward. You get homeless people that are just trying to get off the street. Bruh, how I knew it was the final straw, luckily they moved me up that same day, but my little curtain was closed, and I'm in there just watching TV waiting, and I can hear the people like that work there, and they're trying to keep order, because again, it's homeless people that come down there. Man, this homeless person was like, I need to go to the bathroom. She was like, well, somebody's in that bathroom. This man got up and started peeing.
Oh no.
In the hallway. I won't say he was in front of my little area, but he was immediately to the left of my area. Bro, I was so pissed.
I bet.
That whole floor, it smelled like homeless piss. Not when you've been drinking all night, you go to the back. No, this is homeless
This
piss.
is I've been eating and drinking what I can piss.
Yeah, I was living.
That shit was pungent.
Very. I was like, bro, did that shit just come up out of you? Luckily, they moved me up that night, so I didn't have to deal with it. But yeah, man, I'm under the impression, especially in this country, that, and again, it's going to be a slow process, and it's going to probably be city to city that started, but we need a hospital specifically for black people.
No, I agree.
Not saying that white people necessarily couldn't come to this said hospital, not segregating it, but we need a hospital where people of us can go because certain procedures or certain things can be considered. You know what I mean? Like you were in there, and I'm pretty sure if you went to a black hospital, maybe security isn't called unless it's really needed. Maybe somebody can come out and be like, look, I get it. You know what I mean? But we're going to do this. We're going to make at least this situation fine. At bare minimum, we're going to make sure you're not leaving this place. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. Like we need a hospital that's like the equivalent of an HBCU. Like anybody's welcome.
Yes.
But you know what it
That's
is.
perfect.
And it has to be black owned, you know, cause outside of how we get treated at these domestic hospitals, it's even worse for black women in pregnancies. Like there are the mortality rate for pregnant black women after delivering is fucking insane because these niggas just sit around and, you know,
Luckily,
bullshit. They just think they're just being angry.
Luckily with my daughter, it was a black man who delivered her. It wasn't her doctor. Her doctor was a black woman who wasn't there, but it was a black man. And that experience, we did get care. Again, that was my first time experience, like being inside of a room and all this is going on. So it was great, but this lets me think like a lot of black women are not lucky like that.
Nah, not at all.
You know what I mean? Luckily, everybody that was in that room for my daughter was quote unquote a minority. You know, whether it was the nurses or whether it was a doctor, like it was a minority. You got other places, they're not doing that. I'm tired of getting online and seeing a black woman dies because she was giving birth and shit didn't go right.
Right.
That should not happen. It damn sure don't happen to white people. And if it do, nowhere near as much.
Nowhere near. I think black women are the highest mortality rates.
You know what I
when it
mean?
comes out of pregnancy.
Yeah, like you said it perfect. We need a hospital that's equivalent of a HBCU.
Right. Like I said, anybody could come, but y'all know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember back in college, and we went with one of my girl at the time friends because she had a attempted suicide. So they had her in the psych ward.
Right.
That was my first experience with any kind of psych ward. And that I'm sitting here like we're talking to the girl who attempted suicide. She seems to be somewhat in the right state of mind. She had like fixed her hospital gown to be cute. So I was just like, okay, I mean, I can't tell if that's you trying to be normal or you're actually nuts. I don't know. But she had fixed her gown to look better or whatever. And we're in there with her, and then you just start hearing these hard ass banging on the wall from the lady next door to her. And she's screaming her ass off, and then the screams turn into laughter, but I shit you not, Kev. It was movie like. It was and then it basically just and I was like, oh wow. She's out there. But then she started talking to herself. She was like, now that I think about it, stabbing her 6 times was kind of funny. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here like, yo,
That's hilarious.
why are we here? You need to get like, listen, man, you just need somebody to talk to from now on.
No, sure. If we talk, it's gonna be this glass in between us because
absolutely.
you might stab a nigga. We gonna know.
You might have some different sets of life right now. No, I'm not trying to deal with that. But yeah, that was like the most insane shit that I've ever dealt with because I was just really looking like, yo, I'm cool.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Like,
That's what it is. It's time to go.
It's always time to go. So that was a very interesting situation. So knowing that my brother was near the psych ward, I was like, ooh, I know what that's all about. And that's garbage right there.
Yeah. And supposedly what they said, the reason why they do it that way is not COVID related, but they say it's because they don't have the space.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I get it. Sometimes you don't have the space. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, how do you not have the space?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know you can't predict how many people are going to get sick or whatever the case is, but I feel like you should prepare for it. You know what I mean?
One thing I'm noticing, black, and this actually circles back to your point exactly. Black populated areas dealing with these kind of places, the respect isn't there.
Absolutely.
Because I think about what we went through with our studio and how they tried to basically finesse us out of everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're used to talking down to those people because everyone that was at our studio area is black. Mm-hmm. So, and you and I, we're realists. We're not going to sit there and say, oh, all black people are innocent. I get they probably got a bunch of people who pay late. They probably got a bunch of people who talk to them crazy. They probably got, the usual shit. You know what I'm saying? However, that's not a reflection on everybody. So when I'm talking to them, I'm trying to be, respectful and all this other shit. And you're talking to me like literally like I'm just some nigga.
Right.
So I eventually had to get to the place like I'm not like any of these niggas that you done dealt with. I'll legit sue your ass. Right. Like for real. Like I ain't about to just do all these empty threats and all this other shit.
My motto is I'm gonna take it out in cash or take it out in act.
Exactly. Whichever one you want to do. So you look at that kind of situation. And then my brother, he was at Mountain View. Same situation. We're trying to do this, that, and the third.
Mountain View is horrible. But go carry on.
But they've been giving him some tremendous care ever since we did what we did. So
but yeah, once anybody acts a fool, yeah. To go on to your point, when I was in the hospital with my back surgery, it could have been it could have been the insurance I was on at the time, and then also me raising slight hell. But the person who
a slight hell,
like talking shit basically.
I know what you mean, though. The way you said a slight,
because I didn't go off.
Oh, got you.
I didn't go off, but it was enough to like, all right, the woman who. One of the managers that was on the floor, she was coming in, stopping periodically to the point where the dude next to me was like, "Oh, why he get preferential treatment?" No, this is me acting the ass. That's all this is. So I get it.
Wait,
I get it.
Was the slight hell that week that we missed the episode because they came and got you from the hospital?
This was before we even started the show.
Oh, got you.
First surgery.
Yeah. That was a funny day. Yeah. Not a funny day, but a funny day looking back on it.
But that goes to your point. Once you start acting ass, then they be like,
and it changes.
All right, let's do something.
But see, with Mountain View, you gotta act with hospitals in general. You gotta act a legal ass.
Yes.
So my aunt, who's a surgeon nurse or whatever the fuck they're called. No, let me not say that. More respect to it. My aunt is a nurse for surgery, and we're like, what's going on? So she just calmly says, mention this, that, and the third, and then say your attorney will be contacting their so-and-so department. So my dad is talking to him, trying to talk to him regular. They're still being the same way. Now my dad's talking to him the way West Indians talk to people. They're still being a certain way. So now my stepmother is talking to him, and she's a Jewish white woman. So she's talking to them. She's speaking their language in a sense. Mm-hmm. And they're still not respecting it. So then my dad takes the phone again, says verbatim, and Kev, I shit you not, that night they found that nigga a room. And he's had round the clock just service. Yeah. Whatever the fuck he wants, they come and they do it. They're nice as shit to him. They only got the cute nurses tending to him. Like it changed the whole layout. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, it gets to the point where these places are so used to dealing with black people of all facets because of the neighborhoods that they're in. Mm-hmm. There's just no fucking respect there.
Nah. Would you think it would be a bad idea to have a hospital on, and I don't want to say on the corner like that, but on a lot of hospitals in various black neighborhoods like they do liquor stores?
Yeah.
Would you think that would be a good start at least? And the reason, in my head, the reason I'm saying it's a good start is because the way I look at it, to go back to, you should account for more space. If we got, and like you said, if in areas where maybe a lot of heavily black populated hospitals are treated, they treat them like shit. If we were to put hospitals in black areas like they do liquor stores, frequently like they do liquor stores, wouldn't that be able to serve the community a little bit better?
Absolutely.
I don't know for sure, you know what I mean? But wouldn't that be, because we're not the only people that I know of that are of our skin that goes through this. Right. I've seen hell. I've went to the hospital and checked up on somebody just seeing how they were, and could see another black family going through the same thing.
It really goes back into our conversation about rebuilding Black Wall Street. These are one of the reasons why something like that is so important, because yeah, I think it would be way more beneficial to have a lot more hospitals, have something on each corner. But it also would be beneficial to know you can go somewhere. Not only you're going to have a bed for me, you're going to have quality service for me.
Yes.
And I'm going to be respected as a human.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go from there. So no, I absolutely agree. Something has to change.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the fact that you had your story being outside near the fucking psych ward before we even knew what the fuck COVID was.
And I was in the quote unquote rich area.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
The white area.
Because you're in these places before we knew what COVID was. And the fact that it's still going on, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And why do we have to take it to a place of threats and all this other shit before we finally get some kind of human treatment? You know, my brother had a bad heart. Any kind of stress literally could have killed that man.
Right.
And here you are leaving him next to a fucking psych ward, hearing people literally lose their mind next door. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nigga, you already not getting no sleep in no fucking hospital.
Right. But shit, even outside of that, whether I'm in the hospital, period, if I'm in there and I being that he knew he was going to have surgery, the last thing I want to hear is this man in the next place losing his shit.
Right. Just going plumb fucking crazy.
That's the last thing I want to hear.
Nah, absolutely. Let's get into some of the things that we had set up for this show.
I guess we say all that to say, get well, Jay.
Yeah,
we love
all
you.
that.
Again, we appreciate all the support.
Definitely.
So yeah, let's
move forward. Lots of love in droves, man. So
now it's the road to recovery, and we're gonna get there.
Absolutely. So real quick, this happened some days ago, but definitely want to send our. He said, "Boy, like cocaine on my knee."
Right.
We want to, give our RIP and condolences to Sean Connery, Sir Sean Connery.
Yeah. Now I wasn't never a big Sean Connery fan, but I knew of him and loved the stuff that he was in. It was a blow. It was a blow. Only good thing you can come from that is he was 90.
He definitely lived a long life, and a legendary life at that too.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I guess that's a good thing, but shit, 2020, man. 2020 putting numbers on the fucking scoreboard, bro.
I'm telling you, like literally Kobe versus the Raptors type numbers.
No, this COVID Jordan 96 right now.
You know what? The way COVID going, I think this is Wilt's 100 point game. This might be Wilt's 100 point game.
100 point game.
Because nigga, Kanye West got 56,000 votes.
Yeah.
So yes, this is Wilt's 100 point game.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, I mean, I'll of course, you look at his role as 007, which is of course before our time. So, it doesn't necessarily age well. For me, you know what I'm saying? My familiarity with him, started with, The Rock.
Yeah.
With him and Nick Cage. Even though the movie was kind of trash, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. It was very lackluster.
Very, very fucking lackluster. Yeah. But, Sean Connery was just, you always had the fun imitating Sean Connery, doing the voice or whatever. And
to me, he was an actor that when you watch, as a fan, he gained your respect.
Right.
You knew outside of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I'm not attributing to his fault, but you knew when he was pinned for a movie, like, okay, they're trying to do something.
Right.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Opposed to other actors where you're like, I don't know this nigga.
No, he was definitely a distinguished actor. As a person, may not have been the greatest guy, but
now some of his interviews we're more progressive now.
Yeah.
So we look back and we're like, ugh. But during the time, I understand where he was. I understand the moment that he was in. You know what I mean? If he was to have that same interview, the same questions, and you would ask him probably now, or when he was alive, he probably would have a different answer opposed to that one. But then I understand why he said doesn't make what he said good. Right. But I understand why he said it.
Yeah, he comes from that generation.
Yeah.
He comes from that generation. There's a lot of people, I'm not even gonna go that far. But anyway, yeah. R.I.P. to Sean Connery. I actually ended up watching The Rock the day he passed away. I don't know. It's starting to become my thing now that when
maybe
we
that's
lose
why
an actor.
Maybe that's why he passed away.
Why?
Because you watched The Rock. Maybe,
is that why?
Maybe it just needed a total tally of Sean Connery movies to be watched, and you hit that tally. So in other words, you killed Sean Connery.
So basically, it's like Lovecraft Country. She had to hit them 100 bodies in order to become a real girl again.
You shouldn't have watched The Rock. You shouldn't have watched The Rock.
I was the 100th watch of the Rock.
Basically.
So R.I.P. Sean Connery. Another thing that happened last week that was extremely troubling and in a lot of ways surprising, and also taps into the conversation we've had on this show many a times that we're just a joke to these people, is the I can't remember the cop's name, but the cop that killed Breonna Taylor and got charged for wanton endangerment, which basically means he was charged for shooting a wall and not a person. She's suing. He's suing. He's suing her boyfriend. Well, yeah, her is suing.
Little bitch. My Big Sean voice.
He's suing her boyfriend for emotional distress. Do you know?
You're a fucking cop. What do you mean?
Do you know how bold of a motherfucker you gotta be to sue me for emotional distress, and you shot and killed my girlfriend after you came into the wrong fucking house?
Yeah.
That, bruh, I posted.
That's gotta be as Laura's doing.
I posted it when they came up with that bullshit wanton endangerment shit. That was that was the world's first time hearing that fucking charge. I posted it when they brought it out then, and I'm saying it now. They don't give a fuck about us.
Nope.
Niggas is out here. You're really suing the boyfriend who, again, you killed his woman right next to him for emotional distress because of what you're going through right now.
And even then, I mean, you're alive.
You're alive.
You're alive.
You're alive.
You didn't get killed in your sleep.
He got shot in his leg, didn't he?
But if he did, he should have. He should have been shot more than that.
No, absolutely. But I'm just like, bro, come on. Like that's how much you value a black life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not only that's how much him and his camp values a black life, that's how much the establishment that he's in values a black life. Because to me, it's no way a judge be like, wait, you want to sue for that? No, it's no way. And they can do that. No, we're not doing it. We see it in divorce court.
Yeah, they dismiss shit every day.
Yeah, y'all going to get a divorce because he owe you $30. Get the fuck out of my court. So no, it's a judge could have easily been like, okay, nah, we're not, you know what I mean? This isn't going to work. I don't know what you can sue him for, if you can sue him, but it's not going to be for this. Right. You know what I mean? And that, again, it goes to show how much we are truly cared about.
It's disgusting, dog. Like, I don't know, as anyone in Breonna Taylor's family, as Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, I don't know how you can mentally digest being sued for you murdering my woman and it's causing you emotional distress because I shot first because you came in with a no-knock warrant.
Yeah, you just end up in a psych ward. I should have shot him in the leg. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he'd been there tripping like, oh, girl. It's disgusting, dog. Like, it really is, man. And, you know, it's just another caveat to where black people sit in this world. Yeah. You know, it's another, you know, check for the respect that we have here, which being none. And I don't know, man. It's disheartening as well. It's very disheartening.
Yeah. At this point, me personally, at this point, I just want to know, not that it would necessarily change anything or not that it brings any type of justification, but I just want to know, what did we do as black? Like you know what I mean? Like what did we do? You brung us over here. We built your shit. You fucked our wives. What did we do?
Get freedom.
I truly don't understand.
Get freedom after being made being made the strongest and most dominant ethnicity in America, and now we got freedom. Oh, so I can hit you now.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh no, let's make sure these laws know that you can't touch us. Now those laws are gone. Now it's like, all right, we got to figure out a way to get the one up again. Yeah, which is why, like I said to you before we got on the show, I want all the smoke if Biden wins today. I want all the smoke. All these, or we're going to ride, do this, that, and the third. I wish one of you rednecks would run up on me. I need the practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially
right
practice.
Now.
And these times, absolutely. I need all the stress relief I can get. God damn it. So please, I welcome it.
And I'm letting you know, after I hit you, I'm going in pockets.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not going to be no, I'm hitting you and trying to get in the win. No, I'm going in your pockets. Then I'm going to get in the win.
Like, then I'm out of here. So make sure you come to the north with that. So I got some duck off places.
Or come broke. One of the two.
You better be just as prepared as me.
Yeah.
Just, you know, we kind of just wanted to touch on that real quick. Cause like I said, that's some supreme bullshit. And, you know, we just gotta do better. We gotta do better as a country. There isn't much information on this. However, I do want to shout out to Kenta Barris. Kenta Barris has been marked as the director for the new Richard Pryor movie. Not sure if this is the same one they were working on with Mike Epps. Mm-hmm. However, I will say Kenta Barris is falling in that realm of the Jordan Peels and the Misha Greens, those black creatives that are bringing, you know, a spin to what we normally recognize as black entertainment. Mm-hmm. I understand black as fuck isn't everybody's cup of tea. You know, I'm one of the people that says black as fuck was kind of corny. Kind of corny. There we go. Mm-hmm. However, I still have a lot of respect for Blackish. I still have a lot of respect for Grownish. And I really, you know, I look forward to what he's doing with Coming to America. And I think Kenta Barris is an overall really good creator. So I'm curious to see what he can do with a biopic.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be very interesting. That'd be very good. He what I like about the black creatives in this space right now is they all bring something different to the table. You know what I mean? Like with Jordan Peele, you're going to get quote unquote horror. You're going to get a little bit different, maybe even some out there. But then you can go to Kenta Barris and you're going to get, no, this is black. This is not no horror shit, whatever the case. This is what it is right now. They all bring something different. And I like that. I like that about them. Again, I think, just like with hip hop or just like with music, you're not going to like everything somebody puts out.
Right.
The fact that they keep going and they keep either trying new things or attempting to get better, if not both, is the main thing.
And yeah, that should be all that matters.
Yeah.
Is that they're not resting on a certain, you know, style.
Right.
You know, we had that conversation when it comes down to Jordan Peele. We were like, well, at least I was saying that he needs to eventually start to expand. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Cause I truly believe, I mean, I'm gonna ask Mac Wells, see how you feel about it, but I truly believe Jordan Peele is going to be the Hitchcock of our generation. It's time for him to expand on that. And he doesn't have to get out of the realm of black shit, but he has to expand past the realm of black issues being the scary thing, because then he's going to eventually become that. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and I agree. But I also think that being that black creators, we're in a very new space for us because we didn't get that opportunity. Is that necessarily a bad thing if he does become that?
I'm 50-50 on it. And the reason I'm 50-50 on it is because you look at Get Out, mm-hmm. and he takes the white people want to be black, but they don't want the black problems. Mm-hmm. And he expanded on that and was brilliant with creating a horror like that. With Us, he takes the crabs in the barrel mentality, mm-hmm. and turns it into a horror. I think it's brilliant. I think he has legs with that. Mm-hmm. But I think my thing is, once he's 10 movies in, it's good. You're gonna go from Hitchcock to M. Night Shyamalan. Like, okay, we know it's gonna be a good story, mm-hmm. and then the twist is gonna fuck it up for us. You know what I'm saying? And you're now sitting around waiting for the twist to happen. Like you look at, I was just watching a List video about this shit too. The Happening. Mm-hmm. The promo for The Happening was fucking amazing.
Yeah. When you saw that, you was like, oh, this finna be
You
that
were
shit.
excited for The Happening.
And Mark Wahlberg? Yeah, it's gonna be that shit.
As soon as they revealed that it was the plants, that movie took a nosedive. But you weren't, like, surprised. You were like, M. Night Shyamalan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just kind of got to that place. And that's what I want to avoid with Jordan Peele. So I look forward to Candyman. Because that Candyman trailer is fucking phenomenal. Yeah. And like I said, that's still remaining a black movie, but he's getting out that realm of, let me take a black issue and turn it into a horror. He's taking Candyman and turning Candyman into a black movie, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's that ultimately, if you follow the Candyman lore, that's the neighborhood Candyman come from.
I guess in Jordan Peele case, for me, it's kind of tit for tat. I think you have to, when you want to sit back and you want to make a movie, you have to sit back and think, okay, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? And what would be, even though they would be positive, what would be the repercussions of me doing this? Hence, making that type of movie. You know what I mean? You have to really sit back and look at, okay, if I do this, this will help my legacy and this will do this. But it also keeps me in quote unquote that box.
Right.
Opposed to if I make this other movie, like you said, I can do my thing, but then I can be M. Night Shyamalan. Why not go off and do something different? So I guess it's tit for tat for me. You know what I mean? But I guess I lean a little bit more to if he does decide to stay in this realm, as long as the content is good, I'm not necessarily knocking it.
I'm not knocking it at all. And I agree with you. I think he needs to stay in the pocket of the psychological paranormal horror. I think, like I said, I truly believe he's the Hitchcock of this generation. I don't want him to become the psychological paranormal horror version of Tyler Perry.
Right. But that's got to be our doing though.
How so?
Because if he's making movies, right? Whether they've been like movies that we've seen before or better, if he's making movies and we decide to throw him in that box, he's not throwing him in that box. He's just making movies.
Right. No, I agree.
So I think we got to start to look at that. But then also, I mean, him making black psychological movies be horror, I mean, shit, that's kind of where we're at right now.
No, I agree.
So I'm not gonna. Maybe I would feel differently if 2025. You know, I mean, he's still on the same thing. I'll be like, all right,
right. But that's what I mean, though. That's what I mean.
Okay,
I don't want it to be 20.
I would just say it's too early to tell.
Right. I was like, I don't want it to be 2025, and they're all like, "Oh, there's a horror about why black women make less in the workplace."
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, we kind of got something along those lines with bad hair, but that's a conversation I want to have next week. But
no, fuck that. Yo, I was so mad about that damn movie.
No. Let's save it for next week. We got to have a whole conversation about it because there's a list of shit.
Oh man,
that we have to have. But yes,
I was so mad.
I was mad.
Movie.
That's the effect that I was talking about.
That movie was Kelly Fine, but that's besides the point.
But that's the effect that I'm talking about. Now everyone is trying to do the Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
But you end up with black hair. You end up with antebellum.
See, what I'm writing right now ain't the Jordan Peele. It's the Kevin Shaw. But hey,
hey man, that's the fucking supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah.
But big up to say all that to say, big up to Kenta Barris.
Absolutely.
I really look forward to this Richard Pryor movie because there's been so much conversation around it, and Richard Pryor has a story unlike any comedian in history.
Absolutely.
Black, white, Hispanic, whoever the fuck you want to name.
I hope they implement some type of Marlon Brando shit in this biopic. If they don't, it's doing a disservice.
I think they're going to have to at this point.
Yeah, if y'all don't know the history of Richard Pryor and Marlon Brando, go look that up.
After Quincy Jones getting in his fucking bag and just dropping unnecessary gems, they're going to have to put it in there. Yeah. So, I'm right there with you. We're very curious to see where it goes from here. One of the last things I wanted to get on, really excited to talk about this. Busta Rhymes ELE 2.
Yeah.
Brother, how did you feel about this record?
I don't know. And I don't know because with Bus, I don't know what to expect in the good way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's going to be on some, ooh, I got you in check, or if he's coming out spitting.
Right.
This album, though, it gave me a contrast of the both. You know what I mean? If somebody was not familiar with Busta, like, or let's say they was familiar with him as a kid, 98 or whatever, and then they would hear him now, he did a good job of saying, this is who I was, but this is who I am. Mm-hmm. He did a very good job. The only thing I don't like about that album is, even though he did a great job for what he did, for what he got, he did a great job. But I didn't like a lot of the samples. Only because, not saying they weren't good samples, because I didn't want him to use the samples.
Got you.
You know what I mean? I wanted him to give me something fresh. But he used the samples and he worked that shit like magic. Yeah. So I appreciate that. But I just wanted it more, I guess, more original stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But again, he did his thing.
I think this is easily in the top 3 of Busta albums.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so surprising because when when you get to the level of where Busta Rhymes is at, and I'm gonna use a few of y'all favorites as examples. When you get to the level of where Busta Rhymes is at, I think this may be album number 10 for Busta, maybe, or even something close to it. You think about how LL dropped in quality. You think about, let's keep it a buck, how Dre dropped in quality. Even though he only had, that was his third album. But, I don't know what was up with his writer selection, but neither here nor there. Artists that get to those years drop in quality because they either don't, elevate, and they don't, the word I'm looking for. Adapt. They don't adapt to today's sound, or they try too hard to, again, Dre, they try too hard to adapt to today's sound that you just come off sounding like an old man in a young man's game.
Right.
Busta had a couple albums where I'm like, he's starting to hit that decline. I don't know what the fuck he tapped into for this album, but Busta can keep going. If this is what he got in him going forward, Busta can keep going. This is some of the best spitting I've heard Busta do. I love, and this could be the nostalgia critic in me, but I love hearing that rah type Busta. You know what I'm saying? I love hearing that emotion in his voice. I love hearing, he actually sounds like he's enjoying himself again.
That's for sure.
And
sounds like he was in there and he was having fun doing.
And he was having fun.
Yeah.
And he was excited to, and not only that, his rollout was like, it was on par to when he, was putting out any of his other albums. It was on par to the Big Bang. It was on par to Genesis. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Busta's really putting a fucking project out right now.
Is this the first Busta album that didn't, again, I don't know, but is this the first Busta album that didn't have a single? I don't remember a single coming from this album. Again, I could be wrong. I just don't remember one.
Well, that's the thing. It's so weird to judge what a single is nowadays.
Well, yeah, that and that's what I'm getting to. Because right now, you can argue that you don't need a single to drop an album. You know what I mean? I would think with some people, you don't need necessarily a single to drop.
Right.
With Bus, he definitely could be in that category. He doesn't need a single to drop, but being that he is an older artist and an older act, he has been quiet for so long, you would think that there was a single that came from this, but I don't think there was.
I don't think, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it was either. Now, he did just start dropping videos out of nowhere and dropping records and shit like that out of nowhere. But as somebody that still listens to terrestrial radio, I don't hear any Busta spinning.
Yeah, I don't hear it. Even with XM, I haven't heard anything. Actually, no, that's a lie. And this is what I'm going to get to.
Well, I'd expect it to be on XM.
On the way here, I heard the Busta and Kendrick record. How do you feel about Kendrick's verse?
I'm 50-50 on it. I think,
hold that. Now, does how he performed in his verse make you more excited or less excited for his album?
Now, the only reason I will say it sustains my excitement because I couldn't get past the fact that I was excited to hear Kendrick in 2020. However, I would say only the first half of the verse is what had me like, because it kind of seemed, I don't know, something about his cadence.
Right.
In the first half of the verse.
Maybe he was trying to, because it was, I think this is I know he's worked with crazy artists, but this is the first time he's worked with an artist of Busta's caliber, I think.
I'd say so.
That has that can give you spit, but give you some other shit too. I don't think he's necessarily.
You know what? No, I can't even give it that because his verse on that silly ass record on Marshall Mathers LP 2, he ate that. Even though the whole verse was fucking silly, he ate that verse.
True. No, but what I mean is, on not the actual song, but the artist. Eminem's not gonna be able. I don't want to say not be able. He's not gonna give you the same thing Busta is gonna give you.
Right.
Busta can give you a fire ass verse about that shoebox.
Right.
I don't think M is necessarily going to go that route. So I understand why Kendrick took that route with M, but I'm interested to see why he took that route with Busta.
Yeah, I am too. But I will say after that, the first half of the verse, then I thought Kendrick was eating. So I'm like, I'm not sure. Like this could have been just something you were doing for the record or I don't know. But like I said, this sustains my excitement for the Kendrick album. I don't think I'll ever be in a place where I'm like, I'm not excited for a Kendrick album. Be all the way real with you. I can't say I've gotten to that place with Cole at one point because after after For Your Eyes Only. Not saying it was a bad album. Like, let me always correct myself when I say that. Not saying it was a bad
Was
album.
his back turning For Your Eyes Only?
Yeah, that was
that was a bad album. It
was like
we had one good song on
it was like a 7 or 8 song EP.
Yeah, but on KLD.
That was, exactly. I was all like, when I heard that, then I heard KLD was dropping, I was like, all right, let's see. Then KLD came out. Oh, okay, now I'm back to being excited about cold projects. Right. I still haven't gotten a project or a verse or anything like that from Kenny that I'm like, nah, you know, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens with this album. I'm still maintain that excitement until he gives me something to have me like, all right, Dot, maybe you got to stop waiting 3 years in between albums.
Yeah, I do believe that Kendrick, because he does come from an older generation, he does take that time in between albums, and that could, especially right now, being that people want music, I think right now that could hurt him. But at the same time, it's like, if he keeps giving you classic shit, then are you really mad about it?
Nah, not at all.
You know, because I don't think we've had an artist that give you shit on a frequent basis, except for early DMX. But most of them, I don't want to say the newer ones, but most of the artists that we like, they're giving you some time between albums.
Right. And, you know, DMX is actually another example, even though his is more drug related, of cats that they hit that decline after a certain amount of albums. Cause, Year the Dog was horrible.
See, I don't necessarily, well, because we don't have a lot of acts that have been in the game as long, but Busta's been in the game, what, 22 years?
Longer.
32 years?
I wouldn't say definitely not 32. But I want to say 92, 93, maybe.
Okay. Well, damn near 30 years.
Damn near 30 years for sure.
What I'm saying is we don't get a lot of artists who last that long. So the artists now, I give them at least, when they first start out, I look at it as with Cole and Kendrick are the exception. Well, not necessarily Cole if you count the first four, sorry. But I'm going to give, out of the 3 albums within their first 3-4 years, one of them is going to be a bad album. I'll give them that. So
no, absolutely.
I won't necessarily say it's a decline, and that's partially because we don't see somebody last that long. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows I love 50. I'm pretty sure if this man was to put out a record right now, he probably had 1 or 2, maybe 3 good tracks, but there's going to be a decline.
Yeah.
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? We don't get that. So with Busta, for it not to be a decline, if anything, I think it was a step up from his last few projects.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That was the epitome of God MC flow right there. And
right.
It's crazy and kind of ironic that it came from Busta. Not saying that he was bad, but
it was unexpected.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, even on the Turn My Mic Up page, niggas was like, "Man, we not excited for this."
Yeah,
Busta.
I seen that. I seen that on that page and Twitter.
The
Y'all
day
really waiting for Busta? I'm like,
the day that it dropped, that's all Turn My Mic Up was talking about.
Are y'all serious? What, did y'all forget what this man could do?
Bro, this is Bust. Like, and again, don't get me wrong. I guess I understand the hesitance because in between, what would you say Busta's last big record was? Touch It?
Probably.
In between Touch It and this album, what we got? He had A-Rap Money. We had
I hated A-Rap Money with a fucking seething passion.
The Twerk It record with Nicki. The Why Stop Now. I don't think we had an album. We just had these singles that kept dropping. And they just weren't catching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They bubbled for like a few days, maybe a week, and then they didn't bubble no more.
And then that was if somebody popped the shit out the bubble. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And a part of that bubbling could have been, oh, this new Busta. We want to hear new Busta.
Right.
Oh, this new Busta. That's I think that's where it came from.
No, absolutely. So I think for him to come back and you know what's funny? This is going back to your point of there being no singles. He probably was like, let me not drop any singles because that's what stopped him from dropping albums in between that time because it was like
he was checking the temperature.
The singles wouldn't bubble.
Yeah, he was checking the temperature like, oh no, that's cold right
So he was like,
let's not do that.
Instead of me doing that, I'm gonna drop the album and then I'm going to media pub.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit every major platform that's bubbling right now in the middle of COVID, and I'm gonna give y'all one of my best albums ever. And this is truly one of Busta's best albums.
Yeah.
Niggas that don't think Busta have hits, Corey. even gives Busta the credit.
I ain't have a conversation with Corey. Corey been letting me down on a lot of these topics, man. He been letting me down, but yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out ELE 2, please do. It's narrated by Chris Rock. The reason it's narrated by Chris Rock is Chris Rock narrates the first one.
Yeah. And that's why I love it. That's why I love it, because it was like a callback to his first album.
Circle.
Everything was like a callback.
Full circle.
The only thing that's kind of, it's like, if this is his last album he's done, I'll take it. Okay, I get it. But at the same time, if you wanted to give me some more, I'd take that too.
Absolutely.
Pause.
If Busta decided to walk away off of this album, I would applaud it.
Yeah.
But that also makes me nervous, because then what if he drops another album and it's like,
And it's bad.
Like you don't want to fart in the room and then leave. You know what I'm saying?
I think the best way for him to go about that, if he does decide he wants to do, is drop an EP.
Yeah.
Drop an EP so you can really, you know what I mean? You out there, and it don't have to be obviously next year. Drop an EP, see what it is, and if that EP don't blow it, then be like, yeah, that's it. I'm calling it quits.
And then you can get away with it because you're like,
Exactly.
it's just the EP.
It's just the EP.
Shit, do even better. Drop a mixtape EP.
Yeah.
Drop a mixtape EP and just straight fire, so you can say, well, no, my final album was ELE 2. I just wanted to get this to y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
These were the records that didn't make it type shit.
Right. You know what I'm saying? These are
Even
throwaways.
though these could be records you was working on yesterday.
For the record, right?
Yeah.
And, these just the throwaways.
Yeah.
And then you're in that position to where it's like, damn, even the throwaways was fucking hot. Like, nah, this is the shit I was working on. And if that shit bubble, then give niggas an album. Because obviously you found the fountain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You found the holy grail to get back to where you need to be. And then you can go on that this is my final album run.
Has Busta ever made a track with Dre?
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't know
What the name of it is completely slips my mind.
It don't matter. I was just curious.
Yeah, he has one record with Dre, but it's not like a record anybody necessarily cares about.
I got thought.
But I think Busta did a hell of a job on this album.
Yo, so far the last quarter of 2020, we've gotten some pretty good albums.
Yeah.
We've gotten some pretty good albums. We got Bus albums, T.I. album, Conway's
which is a fantastic album.
Conway's album, Benny's album. We've gotten some great albums.
Didn't all three of Griselda? You had the Griselda project, and then you had all three of their solo projects.
I don't like the first. I love West Side. I think he's dope,
West Side good?
but I just can't get over. Except he do got an interlude. I forget on one album. He got an interlude. I don't even think it's his particular album. He does have an interlude that it's like no singer or nothing like that. It's just some gang shit, but it's in the most obnoxious way that I just love it. But outside of that, I'm not.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I find that kind of shit nostalgic as well, because if you think back to Big's album, I think it was on Life After Death, and he had the Play a Hater record.
Yeah.
Play a Hater. I love that shit. I also love the Jealous Guys record from the Mace album. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always found that shit cool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I love it. And for it to be like some gangster shit, I love it. You singing about blowing somebody's face off, I fucking love it. Like not you singing, but you got a woman singing, I love it.
Right.
So yeah. So this last quarter, we got some stuff. Are you expecting anybody else to drop between now and the end of the year?
I think Kendrick, and I think that's what Kendrick was waiting on. I think he wanted some kind of verse.
Oh, this would be a perfect time with the success of Busta. This would be a perfect time to drop.
I think it's going to be a surprise album from Kendrick, because since he can't tour. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to get a surprise album from Kendrick. I think Cole is going to drop. This is the only time I can say I'm not looking forward to a Cole record, because from
January, but go ahead.
I can see that too. I can also see that too. But only reason I'm thinking he's going to drop this year, because yes, Cole would drop in January. Apparently this upcoming project is supposed to be the Kill Edward project. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure if I want a whole Kill Edward. I didn't like Kill Edward record.
I actually would look forward to that type of record, only because I think you get like he said, you get the alter ego of Cole. You know what I mean? So if you got this person that's militant and kind of laid back and low key, I'm expecting Edward to be the complete opposite. Like, no, nigga, I'll blow your shit in. Like, that's what I expect.
You know what I just realized? All the OGs dropped fucking fire this year. T.I. had an amazing album. Busta had an amazing album. Royce had an amazing album. Questlove.
Shit.
Black Thought had an amazing EP.
M had an amazing
album. This was the year of the old heads, bruh.
You might be on something.
All these niggas dropped gems this year.
Yeah.
I just thought about that shit.
And if we even think about it, shit, Black Thought, he dropped the gem this year. He got a fire EP last year too.
Yeah. Oh, Streams of Thought is. Yeah. Streams of Thought was my album of the year last year for fucking 6 songs?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the OGs showed they ass in 2020.
They did.
So it's
crazy, yo. Granted they're older than us, but they're considered OGs, and like we right there. Like I remember when we was like, yeah, we was young. I remember when we was young. Now
I had hair when I first heard some of these guys.
Yeah, it's funny. What was I doing? This was probably 2 weeks ago. I had said I went to Hamburger Hut, right? And you know Hamburger Hut parking is trash. So you park,
even if you want to call that parking.
Right. So you park on the opposite side of the wall. And I was getting the food and I was walking back to the car, it's the wall there. And I was just thinking, I was like, damn, when I was like 15, I scale that wall easy.
Right.
I looked at the wall, was like, nope, and walked my ass right around.
Like,
no problem. Yeah, I love that part about growing up.
Yeah.
I love that part about growing up. Like shit, hell, coming down, can come down the stairs and or for instance, when we leave here, how it goes down when you get to the highway, you got that little decline. Mm-hmm. It's been times where I'm like, yeah, I don't need that decline. I'm a real nigga. There's other times where I walk my ass to them stairs.
So I'm gonna go ahead. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what's been like the true testament of time is that you remember when you get to some stairs and like you gonna skip a step.
Yeah.
But you gonna scale that bitch though. You gonna boom, boom, boom. Then you get into your mid to late 20s and now you're still skipping the step, but you're walking. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, I'm gonna hit all these steps on the way up.
I'm gonna make sure I hit them. I don't care how close they are.
Every single one of these steps, I'm going up.
Let's get one. Ooh, that dip was a little bit deeper.
I gotta look down when I'm walking. God, is this vertigo? What's going? Listen, man, 30 is something different.
It is. It is something different. It is something different. Physically, it's almost something different, but mentally, it's like, I would kill you niggas.
Oh, mentally it's amazing.
Yeah, mentally it's like, why did I do that dumb shit back then? Yeah, but physically, I'm like, all right, you got
mentally, it's amazing, and then you look at cats at the age that you thought you knew everything, and you're like, fuck, you still got some ways to go.
Yes, or you even look at the cats that are your same age, you be like, bruh, you
didn't even try.
That's it. You just tapped out at 12. That's
like,
it.
I'm good. I'm right where I want to be.
Oh man.
Make sure y'all follow us at the Noize Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow everything B Network at B Network Online. Again, thank you guys for all the prayers, all the well wishes, all the positive vibes, all the words that we use on social media now for building up positivity. So thank you guys for that, towards my brother. And
I was rubbing powdered donuts on my leg.
Kev was out here backstroking in a pile from Scarface's house. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate the support. And as always, Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.